So I saw this video and it's called I'm 29 and I wasted my 20s. Well, I haven't seen it yet. It just popped up on my feed not too long ago. And I want to see it because I'm actually 29 myself this year. And I'm interested to see what it's about. So let's go.
I'm 29, and in a few months, I will be 30. When I look back at my 20s, I think I've had some great experiences. I had good times and I went on so many adventures. But if I'm being honest, I also spent a lot of time worrying and trying to check off boxes, seeing my life as like one big to-do list. When I was a teenager, I thought that in my 20s, I have to check off milestones like be in a relationship, get married, buy a house, have kids, and have everything figured out. Well, now, coming from a woman who is turning 30 soon, I'm not in a relationship, I'm not married, I don't have a house, I don't have kids. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to have kids. I still feel like a kid myself, and I'm still trying to figure things out, just like I did back when I was 20.
Hmm.
You know, years ago, I had this idea of what my
And that's everyone's like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. It's different market, man. It's different times, back then. People they had a more so kind of direct path of like that's what it was about, building around family. I feel like nowadays, because of the way how modern society is, you just like you have a good job and you kind of put all the other stuff in the back burner, or you're kind of like trying to work on making a good career and you're trying to figure out things in life, and you're struggling up there till you get to a point where you're not struggling, and then you have the aspect where just people just in general just don't want to have a family and deal with the extra responsibilities. But yeah, let's keep going.
life would look like. There was a path I thought I would follow, but then unexpected things happened, and I realized that nothing is certain. And from one day to another, everything can change.
COVID-19, the disease that defined our lives in 2020.
Chancellor Merkel announced the plan after talks with state leaders continued well into the night.
What happens when a virus hits the world, when everything turns upside down, and when you feel like locked away, not just physically, but also mentally, right in the middle of your 20s, when you have big dreams, plans, and all these expectations? Well, it's hard. And during that time, I felt like I'm losing control. But being
That was 3 to 4 years, literally flew by during that time.
locked away also gave me space, a lot of space to think about my life and to reflect on it. And I realized that there is no timeline for anything. And there is also no right path to follow. COVID showed me that we can't control everything and that life is unpredictable. We have to let go of this idea that we have to have everything figured out by a certain age. It's just not possible. And you know what? That is okay. For most of my 20s, I thought that if I just looked a certain way, if I had the perfect body, flawless
Perfect
skin,
body,
and
yeah,
beautiful long
yeah.
hair, I would finally feel beautiful. But the truth is, I almost never felt beautiful, even when I achieved everything I thought I wanted. I've wasted so much time chasing someone else's idea of beauty, and I was constantly comparing myself and my appearance to unrealistic standards.
I think we all, in some aspect, have in our life, just with media, having media, it's so easy to go down that line, man. That's why I try to stay off of like certain medias like Instagram and stuff, and just because it's not productive for my time, other than YouTube and me looking to get into Twitch, I don't really get on other medias just because it ain't healthy. You swiping and seeing all those things. Now, if you just seeing close friends, you just catching up with that. That's different. But
Trying so hard to look like someone else and trying to change made me forget who I am and how beautiful I
I
am.
love her. Just how she's showing it in a perspective, telling these things, her visuals and stuff. She got it down.
In my own unique way. Every single time when I open this app, when I open Instagram, and when I see those pretty pictures, those beautiful bodies, those flawless women, I feel bad. And I feel ugly. I feel like I'm not beautiful because I don't look like those women. And it's so weird because I already know before opening the app, I already know if I end up scrolling here now, then I feel bad about myself. So why am I still doing it? And why am I comparing myself or my body to someone from the other side of the world, like a person that I don't even know? And deep inside, I know they might have photoshopped their photos, or they make this photo in the perfect light, in the perfect moment.
Know what she said, like, even though she knows before she opens the app that her mind's already it's just something intuitive that as human beings do. You're always going to continue to compare to what another person has, or a situation, another situation from your situation to someone else's situations, right? It's just that's intuitively what we do as natural instinct, you know. Um, Constantly advising and were we looking to like inspect in other areas, you know. We always analyze. That's just how the human brain just works. But again, it's one of those trickery that when you see those people who photoshop things, or they look like they're happy but they really not happy at all. Like they're not, you don't know what their scenery is in the back, behind that video is. It looks all bright in front of you, but in the back it's like all dark casted. And yeah, it's you can play mind games, man.
So what is wrong with me that I keep doing that and that I keep comparing myself to that? I don't know. But I think it's just important to keep reminding ourselves that, first of all, this is not real. What we see on this phone, on the screen, most of the time it's not real. And then I also want to remind myself that beauty or feeling beautiful, we always think in terms of beauty, it's just the way we look. But when was the last time I felt truly beautiful? I'm just thinking right now, and there was a really special moment a couple of days ago when I felt really, really beautiful. And it was during a really nice, honest, real and unfiltered conversation. Like I looked someone into the eyes and he looked into my eyes and we just talked. But really honest and really raw, and I was just myself, and I think he was himself as well. And
she in love, guys. She in love. I think she's falling in love. No, let me stop.
It was so beautiful, and I felt beautiful because I could be myself, and I felt so safe and so beautiful in that special moment. Or just being surrounded by the right people where I can truly be myself. That's when I feel beautiful.
Okay.
Truly beautiful. Let's talk about FOMO. Wow, everyone is so beautiful and everyone has the best time of their lives, always, except me. Too many times I compared my body to others, but not just my body, but also my whole entire life. It's your 20s, so we should go out, we should party, we should go on adventures.
And I would say this, the opposite for guys, it's like, yeah, it might be with muscles, we might compare like muscles, but I think most of us is with like, security in this. Like, yo, am I successful in my career field? Am I making this certain amount of money? Different things like that. I mean, it's just, that's how we kind of see it for us, is how we feel valuable in aspects in those ways. But really, truthfully, that it's not just that, but you can be also valuable by having more substance in your life when it comes to deeper understanding who you are, to working on yourself as a person, and things like that. And a lot of these things that we deal with, it really just comes from these that have inner workings, dealing with ourselves and our inner selves, and healing, right?
And travel the world, always, right? Well, my reality was just so different. I mean, yes, there had been adventures, there had been parties and exciting things, but more often, I had days when I had been at home, alone, doing absolutely nothing. And it was in those moments or on those days when I felt like I'm a loser and I was missing out. Too many times, I was comparing my behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. And the truth is, I wasn't missing out. I was just living life differently, in my own way and at my own pace. Something that really helped me especially when I felt really insecure, when I struggled with self-doubt, when I simply just felt not good enough, was talking to someone, talking to friends, talking to my parents. When I felt like they don't really understand my problem or they can't really help me, then I talk to a therapist, and I highly, highly recommend that.
Yeah.
Like in your 20s, if you struggle with something, go to therapy. It's okay, and it doesn't mean that you're crazy. Not at all. It's just you're growing as a person by talking to someone about your feelings or about things that happened in the past. I've realized that everyone has some sort of childhood trauma or some form of inner child work to do. And the sooner you start, the better, I think. So there's absolutely nothing wrong by talking to a therapist, and I highly recommend it. To me, it really helped me to find more peace within myself and with a lot of thoughts that are going on in my head. Also, something I felt and thought very often was that no matter what I do, or no matter how much I do, or who I am, it's just not enough. In all areas of life, from my career goals to my fitness goals, I constantly felt like I have to have, or I have to do more. I think there's nothing
I
wrong.
like that scene right there. That was an actually really good scene to show example. Like, as she's working, she's climbing up and doing the task and stuff. It seems like she's constantly on the treadmill. I like that metaphor right there.
Goals, I constantly felt like I have to have, or I have to do more. I think there's nothing wrong with always setting new goals and constantly trying to grow as a person, but I wish I would have enjoyed this whole process a tiny little bit more and be more present and be proud of myself at one point. Because no matter what I achieved, I never took the time to be proud of it. And instead I kept running and I kept chasing, and I always kept thinking of what's next. My advice for people in their 20s. First of all, yes, there are so many things I did in my 20s that I regret, but at the same time, I don't. Like, all these things and all these mistakes that I made, they made me wiser. They made me learn something, and they made me reflect about my life and about myself. So please.
I made a lot of mistakes. Too many. Yeah, definitely learn from my mistakes. All right, let's keep going.
Make mistakes, and don't be afraid to make them. Keep trying, keep failing and falling.
That's what we
It's
gotta
all
do.
okay, as long as you always stand back up again and as long as you learn from them. I also want everyone watching, no matter if you're in your 20s or not, I just want you to be a bit more present again. There is an offline world as well that we often forget about. But like this world, this offline world and everything around us, it's just so beautiful. When was the last time you just had been outside and listened to the sounds of nature, or lived truly in the moment without expecting something or chasing something? You only live once. And this moment, right now, it will never, ever happen again. So please, be more present, embrace it, and try to make the most out of it.
Yo, facts. I was outside the other day and I was walking, and what she said was so factual because I was outside, I was walking, and I looked up at the sky and I see this big ass bird, and I'm like, you know, this bird is actually pretty high, and he's flying and like soaring and like feels so free. I'm like, and it's like peaceful, it's warm, it's nice, the sun's shining, you hear the birds chirping and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm out here, get to walk around, don't have to worry about no animals coming to hunt me, no bear attacking, no tiger like coming at you. And I'm able to just enjoy my day, have peace of mind. What do I have any problems with? You know what I'm saying? Like, what problems should I even have at this moment? Like, being present at the moment is just so right. Like, hit it right on the nail. Like, we gotta learn to be like more in that moment and just enjoy the life of what it is, because you don't have that time back in that moment you have. So, you know, I've been this week, especially this week, trying to refocus my mind on gratitude and patience and, you know, being in the moment, like she was saying. Like, it really does help, especially if you constantly worrying about, like, you know, where you're gonna be at. Like, if you think always in like the future of where you're gonna be at and what you're trying to do, a lot of times it'll add stress and anxiety to yourself. So the best way to come back that is to be back in present moment, be in the present, you know, have gratitude, focus on what you have now, because the future hasn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying?
Last but not least, at the end of this video, I want to tell you to please be yourself. And I know that's hard, especially in your 20s. And it's easier said than done, but in a world where everyone tries to be the same or look the same, just be yourself, because that is your superpower.
Yep.
That is what makes you beautiful. That is what makes you powerful and unstoppable. Please be yourself, and also let everyone around you, let them be themselves. Also your 20s, guys, like it's not over after your 20s. I'm turning 30 soon, and I am really scared. I'm really scared, but I just try to also see the positive in it, because the older I get, the more I can learn, and the more I can grow, and the more I can share with you. I hope you enjoyed this video.
I want to say this, shout out to you. I'm gonna have her link inside the description. You want to check out her channel, but I want to say this: two things. Be yourself is so factual, because I realized the more I be myself, and like it's not like I wasn't being myself, but the more I just stay being myself is my superpower. Like the things I enjoy, the things I like, the things who I am as a person is going to attract the right people, and eventually will bring more success into my life. Whether it's friends, whether it's the right mentors, whether it's sponsorship, whatever the case might be, right? Also, on top of that, I'm not scared. I'm ready for my 30s. You know what I'm saying? I think closing that chapter of the 20s and being in 30s it's more maturity-ness, right? It's more understanding revelations on who you are as your identity. You're more secure and grounded in your identity. On top of that, it's just like, man, you know, just starting a fresh new canvas in a bracket of a different age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, and I embrace it, man. I feel like I'm get new superpowers or something, you know. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoy this, man. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Hit that subscribe button too if you're new. Peace.